Hey everyone, Wes here for Family Gamer TV with some huge Angry Birds Transformers news. Now we know the app is coming later this year, supported by a range of Telepod toys, and we've seen the poster, so we know some of the characters that are coming. You know, the likes of Megatron and Optimus Prime, Soundwave, Grimlock, loads of different characters in there. But what we didn't know is, how is this game going to play out? What form is it going to take? And more importantly, as a Transformers game, wouldn't it be a bit naff if these characters didn't transform? Well, the biggest news we get today is that they do actually transform, and while the primary focus of the game looks to be Angry Birds Go-esque in that it's more racing based, you can also transform these figures into a kind of simplified robot form so you can play with them with your friends and do full battles with transformations and everything. So, as we've seen with Skylanders Swap Force, adding that little bit of articulation to toys creates a much greater engagement with them, and I think that's what Rovio and Hasbro are obviously hoping for with this mashup of Angry Birds and Transformers. I think that's just the kind of effect it will have. Obviously, previous Angry Birds games haven't had that level of articulation. Sure, you can push the cars around, but they don't do much more than that. So, let's get into it. Let's have a look at some of these sets, and let's start with the Racer Pack. So this is what I believe are individual packs of characters, and they're going to be available exclusively at Toys R Us. Now, we don't know the UK pricing of these. We've got a US pricing of $5.99. Not quite sure how that's going to translate to the UK. I'm going to guess about £5, but we'll see on that. So first up in our Racers set, we have Soundwave. So here you can see that transformation. You've got Soundwave as a little van, which he's been in previous incarnations. Of course, as an old school Transformers fan, I remember him as a tape deck. And there's probably kids listening right now, you have no idea what a tape deck is, ask your mum and dad. So here is a van, he transforms into a robot, and you can see played by one of the pigs here, a mustachioed pig. Next up, we have Optimus Prime, but in a blue version. So we've seen in the poster you get Optimus Prime as a red version. Here, very much movie-based, blue version with the red flames. Anyone who's seen the films will be familiar with this. Then we move on and we've got another film-based, well, I'm not sure actually whether he's based on the version in the film or the version from the animated series, but this is Lockdown, played by Max Pig, apparently. So here you can see this grey sports car transforms again into a robot. Then we've got Heatwave. Now, Heatwave is normally a fire engine. Here he looks a bit sportier than a fire engine, but I think still basically a fire engine, and obviously played by Terrence and transforms into a kind of bigger, bulkier robot. Then everyone's favourite, Bumblebee, played here by Chuck, the yellow Camaro version of Bumblebee. Obviously not what I'm used to from my childhood, but I don't want to moan too much. If you're familiar with the films, you'll be very familiar with this look for Bumblebee. Now, next up, this is listed as Adrian Pig, but if you've seen the very recent Transformers film, I'm pretty sure this is Galvatron, and certainly even if you go back to like the original animated Transformers movie, Galvatron has a very similar kind of helmet crown to this, and the silver truck cab that we have here is Galvatron from the movies. So that's my assumption, but the naming here doesn't quite match up. So next up, we're going to look at the Bumblebee Bird Blast Pack, which will retail for $19.99. Now here you get two custom versions of Bumblebee and Grimlock. You get High Octane Bumblebee, who is the black version of Bumblebee that we've seen in the films, this black Camaro with the yellow stripes, and then we've got Goldbite Grimlock, and you've got a launcher for the carts and this kind of Bumblebee version of a tunnel that you can drive them through, I guess. So a little bit of physical play there that you get to have, and again, this is exclusive to Toys R Us. Now, next up, we're going to take a look at the Angry Birds Transformers Telepods Energon Racer Pack, which also retails at $19.99. So these packs feature 5 different Telepods figures, including Energon Optimus Prime, Energon Grimlock, they all start with Energon, Galvatron, Starscream, and Soundwave. Now, the interesting thing here is they all feature an exclusive Energon translucent styling. So that's why they've got this branding. And again, another exclusive for Toys R Us. I don't actually know if these figures are going to be available anywhere else. I think everything we're talking about today is exclusive to Toys R Us. But you can see the figures have that kind of transparentness to them. Starscream looking particularly cool there as a jet. Soundwave in Lockdown we've seen, and Grimlock and Optimus Prime, but Starscream particularly stands out here as one of the new characters. Now, it's worth noting that these figures will have special powers when compared with the regular versions. We also get our first look at the Telepod piece here with this set, and it looks like the Matrix from the original Transformers, which makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Now, what else have we got here for you? There is a big racetrack. So with Angry Birds Go, we saw that there was a raceway that you could get, and the same is true here with Angry Birds Transformers. And we've got Megatron versus Optimus Prime on a kind of Optimus Prime styled racetrack with launchers, an area in the middle to clash, and obviously a pig to knock off at the end there. And here we see the difference in versions of Optimus Prime, with the red version with the blue flames rather than vice versa. And in fact, the pig at the end there happens to be a small version of Starscream. And this set retails for around $29.99, so the most expensive of the bunch, but obviously the biggest set too. Now, one thing we can't show you today is the Angry Birds Transformers Telepods Battle Packs, and we haven't seen them yet either. And these feature a hero and villain matchup with a Telepod, and you can put them both into your game to bring the battle to life on the screen. So there is some kind of battling aspect inside the game beyond the standard kind of racing that we've seen in Angry Birds Go. Now, we've been given the date of October the 1st for the release of all of these sets, but that's a US date, so I'm not sure whether it'll hold for the UK, but I'd be amazed if it isn't out before Christmas at the latest. But if you're going to San Diego Comic-Con, you can get more information about Angry Birds Transformers and see the Telepods up close, along with Angry Birds Stella. And in lieu of Angry Birds' appearance at San Diego Comic-Con, they've also produced a few more of those cool posters with the characters being showcased. Now, the first one, of course, we saw had Optimus Prime holding aloft that Matrix, along with a few other characters like Heatwave and Grimlock, and what we thought was Unicron lurking in the background. Since then, we've got a few more, as we said, and now we can see Optimus Prime doing battle with Megatron on what looks to be the surface of Cybertron, and more evidence that perhaps Unicron does make an appearance in the top left of this image. We can also see all the other characters, so you've got the likes of Soundwave and Heat Blast. Now, there's one character lurking in this image that I think we've seen in the previous post as well, and I'm speculating that that is Shockwave. There's also a couple of variations of characters with different colour palettes, so you can see Soundwave in the bottom left of this image, but as a black version with a kind of a red cassette holder, and there's a small version of Redbird as Optimus Prime, but a kind of white version, which is kind of strange. Don't know why you'd have multiple characters in these posters. Maybe they're just little Easter eggs for the fans. Now, on the next poster, this is a familiar styling to those who remember the G1 days, the original Transformers. But most importantly in this, we finally get to see who Stella is playing. So you can see Stella as RC, a far more curvaceous robot than the rest of the Transformers, representing her status as the female of the group, and obviously adorned with that pink and white coloration. But that's harkening back to the original Transformers the movie animated feature. Fans of that will obviously recognise her here. And another poster with the Autobots heading into battle against the Deceptihogs, featuring RC prominently as well. So good to see Stella making an appearance in the series. And then the Deceptihogs with Galvatron and Megatron, Starscream and Soundwave, or perhaps Lockdown, or a blue version of Lockdown in fact. So there's a lot of variety in the coloration on these posters, and I assume that will follow through in the figures too. So that's all we've got for you in terms of the images of the new Angry Birds Transformers, but we're still speculating about what's going to happen with the app. Is it going to be a straight Angry Birds Go style racing game, or will there be more you can do with these Transformers? Will you be able to have the app recognise when you're a robot or a car? Does it even matter? Will there be robot on robot action, or is that just restricted to physical play? Well, we'll find out later, and hopefully there'll be some more content coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. But if not, make sure you stay tuned and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Angry Birds Transformers footage. And of course, leave us a comment below. If I've got any of these Transformers wrong, please correct me. And of course, which Transformers do you want to see, and have you spotted any others in the images that we haven't? And of course, stay tuned for more from Family Gamer TV.